Oh yeah, what's up everybody? Peter Gilmore here for another video right here on Killer of Demons 666. Watching, make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below on this channel, on my other channels as well, and find me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. Share this video all over the internet and tap that bell, turn on all my notifications so you never miss an upload. Do it now! I said so. If you don't like it, go to hell. That's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Thursday evening, February the 6th, 2020, it is time for your late and out-of-date Monday night review for February the 3rd, 2020, as we're on the road to Super Showdown 3 at the end of this month, February the 27th. On my mom's birthday, this fucking shit has to happen. So, this fucking event has to happen on my mom's birthday. Good figure. Good job, Vince. Good job. And it's gonna suck too. I digress. So Monday Night Raw came and went, and it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a good show. It was what it was on Monday night. Blizzard Town, USA, named otherwise known as Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah, they were thinking of canceling the show because there was a big blizzard in Utah. Somehow they did the show. Now they go on their western trip. I'm gonna be in California the rest of this weekend, and Monday Night Raw next week comes from Ontario, California. I'm surprised it's not from Los Angeles or San Diego or San Francisco. But maybe SmackDown will. I don't know. We'll see what happens with SmackDown. What SmackDown is next week. But like I said, it was a pretty decent show, and we had a new number one contender for Brock Lesnar's title at the Saudi Arabia show. Since Drew has his WrestleMania match against either Brock Lesnar or whoever is the champion by then. See what happens with that. We're gonna hear from Randy Orton in his monotonous voice about what he did to Edge last week. We got a return of a former women's superstar. We had some other stuff happening on the show. We had Charlotte on the show. She was gonna reveal who she was gonna face at WrestleMania for the women's title, either Raw or SmackDown or maybe NXT. We're gonna hear from her in a little bit, and that's it. But we start off the show with the fallout, Randy Orton's attack last week to close the show, hitting with the RKO and then hitting in the back with a chair, and then teasing he was gonna break his neck. And then he ends it with a concerto. So Edge is at home starting his recovery process, following some tests. And Beth fucking Phoenix mentioned last week on NXT that, you know, he's gonna get back up. We get back up, and now we start the road to recovery, something like that. So Edge is gonna start the road to recovery. I think he's gonna be out for a little bit, but then Randy Orton will keep playing this out for a while, and then right before, like maybe a couple of weeks before WrestleMania, Edge challenges Orton to a match at WrestleMania, and I don't think there'll be a stipulation in it. Maybe it'll be a street fight, no holds barred. I don't know, but I think Edge will win that at WrestleMania, and then he'll probably take some time off to heal up a little bit. Then he'll probably be at either be at Money in the Bank, or be at SummerSlam. That's probably the next time we'll see Edge. He'll be at SummerSlam. Besides WrestleMania, he'll probably be at SummerSlam. Because I don't think he'll be at anything else before then. See, never know. So we get that. So we start the night off with Randy Orton and his monotonous voice, and he comes out and he takes his time. The fans are booing him. He finally gets on the mic and says, I guess I owe you an explanation. And the fans are just booing the living crap out of him. So he's like, man, I can't do this. He throws down the mic and looks to leave, gets booed out of the building. And that was basically it. So he comes out. He looked like he was going to show some remorse and say, I'm sorry for what I did. And I was like, no, I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But I guess they're going to keep this up where, you think, we don't know what side of Randy we're going to get. And we'll see what happens over the next couple weeks. But this was pretty good. This is where I would have started it off. Like have Randy come out. It's like, I don't need to tell you anything. Then eventually he'll come out. It's like, I did it because he threw me over the top rope at blah blah blah. All the hype. Edge coming back. Edge came back. He came back. Blah blah blah. All this hype. And then he's gonna say, like, I'm the Legend Killer, and I'm gonna kill the Legend of Edge at WrestleMania. But we'll see what happens with that. It wasn't a bad segment. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. So like I said, we'll see what happens this coming Monday night on Raw. What's next in the Randy Orton Edge saga? They've been saying that Christian might get involved. I think he'll get his ass handed to him too. But we'll see. Maybe Christian will come out for one more match at the Saudi Arabia show and challenge Randy Orton. You never know, but that'll probably happen. Randy Orton and Christian at the Saudi Arabia show. Reminiscent of a long time ago, a couple of years ago, like maybe 7, 8, maybe 9 years ago, when Christian won the belt. I don't remember who he beat for the title, and then I think he beat Randy Orton or beat Alberto Del Rio, I think, in that ladder match. Then 2 nights later on SmackDown, on the taped SmackDown, because this was before SmackDown was on like Friday nights or on Thursday nights. I don't remember what night it was on, because I used to tape it on Tuesday nights back in the day. And then 2 nights later, he loses the belt to Randy Orton. And everybody who knows me, who's been around since 2010, knows I did a humongous rant about that. And it got put up on NoDQ.com. Had over 6, at the time, I think in the first couple of days, had over 5,000 views. Like I said, on lead story on NoDQ.com, lead feature of NoDQ.com. Was getting love from the community, was getting subs and everything. Then eventually the old Killer Demons channel went down. I think it had to be either the first Killer Demons channel or the Human Killer 99 channel that video was on. I wish I still had it. I mean, I wish somebody still had that video, but maybe I was thinking maybe Aaron Rift might have downloaded it, but it's not there anymore, so it sucks. I could have re-uploaded it as a nostalgia type promo, that type video, like I could put like Peter Gilmore or TGC Rewind or something like that. Could have showed it to you guys, but I don't have the video anymore, and the channels are all gone, and videos are all gone, unless you can go to YouTube and somehow dig them up. But it is what it is, and can't relive the past, but that's all I gotta say. So we'll see what happens with Randy Orton next week on the show, and that's pretty much it. All right, then we get some clips on the Rumble. You missed it. All right, then we go to our first match, our rematch from last week. Lana and Liv Morgan. This match sucked. These ladies went at it again. I don't know why they had a rematch. Liv won the match. I mean, I was hoping this freaking storyline would be over. And now you add, and it gets worse now because you add another ingredient into it. Or you kind of pull away from it. But get the match, and Liv Morgan wins again with the code breaker and the flatliner combination. It was just a win in a minute and a half. So thanks for coming, Alana. So I gave that 1 out of 5 stars. That was just a really coming off that Randy Orton segment. You just throw a dud at the TV. You know, a dud at the audience. But that's what I gotta say about that. And then afterwards, Liv is celebrating, and then Ruby Riott. Remember Ruby Riott from the Riott Squad? She finally makes her return after, I believe, it was shoulder surgery. She makes her return, and Liv is all happy. She got her bestie back. Maybe they'll reform the Riott Squad with Sarah Logan. I was thinking, where the hell is Sarah Logan in all this? But she didn't come out. So Ruby, she's hugging her, and they're hugging, they're smiling, they're all giddy. And then the next thing you know, Ruby Riott turns heel with a heinous act and beats the crap out of Liv Morgan while Lana's smiling. So I think Lana probably paid off Ruby Riott to beat up Liv Morgan, continue the storyline. And so Ruby beats her up. She hits a sliding clothesline until in the back. And then she leaves, and then Lana basically picks up the pieces, hits the X Factor on Liv Morgan, and that's it. So, yeah, now I guess you gotta throw in Ruby Riott into this whole thing with Bobby Lashley, Lana, Liv Morgan, and Rusev, who we haven't seen in 2 weeks. I mean, we saw Bobby Lashley on Monday Night Raw in that triple threat match to see who will face Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown 3. But nothing major about that. We haven't seen Rusev for the last couple weeks. I don't even think we saw Rusev in the Royal Rumble. Or Bobby Lashley. I don't remember seeing him. So I think they're kind of maybe cooling off this storyline. Maybe, I don't know. Or like I said, the added ingredient of Ruby Riott coming in. Now you can have a Ruby Riott Liv Morgan feud, and then Lana's in the back saying, I hired Ruby to be my friend, and blah blah blah. Then it blows up in her face later, like 6 to 8 months later. But yeah, it is what it is. I really don't give 2 shits, and that's it. All right, then we get the music of Drew McIntyre, the man who will face champion at WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble winner. He thanks the fans for fighting through the blizzard to be at the arena. He would then Claymore Mojo Rawley's head off in about 3 seconds. But as for Brock Lesnar, he talks about the attack last week after his match. Attacked him, hit the F5. He said that's fine with him because he did it from behind. And it means that Brock is scared. Knock him out with a Claymore kick. And he says he will win at WrestleMania and finally be the champion. Which I hope it does happen, but even though Brock said in an interview that he didn't want Drew to be picked, something like that. And then, now he wants to have more segments with R-Truth. Why? I mean, they're funny in a semi-good way, but I mean, I very rather see Brock just beat the crap out of R-Truth every week. That'll be good. But that's all I gotta say about that. So he talks. I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get to the match. The match lasted 6 seconds. Riddick Moss at ringside, Mojo Rawley's butt buddy, and bell rings and boom, Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3. That was it. Thanks for coming, Mojo Rawley. And the 24/7 belt was not on the line, which I really think it should just be discarded. Nobody. I mean, it's a worthless fucking piece of tin. That's what it is. That's what the 24/7 title is. It's a jobber belt made of fucking tin. Nobody likes it. It looks disgusting. Kind of like the new look Intercontinental belt. Looks the same fucking thing. Looks like shit. I can only imagine what the tag team titles will look like when they redo them. And the US title, and probably the WWE and Universal titles if they think about redoing them. Women's tag titles, they're okay-ish looking, but I really don't care about them. I mean, the belts in WWE look like shit. That's all I gotta say about that. In AEW and Ring of Honor has probably the best belts in his in not all of wrestling. You know, you look back to the NWA days with the 10 pounds of gold, then the TV title they just reintroduced, the tag titles they reintroduced. You know, they got some nice fucking belts. AEW has you know the world title looks great. I mean, the women's title is okay looking, but the tag belts look okay. And if they ever introduce another belt, that'd probably be awesome too. Ring of Honor, I mean, they've had great belts in their history. The pure title that they're gonna be bringing back, which I'm so hyped for. They're bringing back the pure title, which is awesome. And then the different looks of the Ring of Honor World title, the tag team titles. Then they introduced the 6-man tag team titles, which they're okay looking. The new look tag titles look okay looking. The new look Ring of Honor title is okay looking. You know, TNA's belts look okay, but it is what it is. You know, I don't think any company has good looking belts. Bottom line, I think most of the belts are pretty decent looking, except if you, I mean, if you look at WWE's belts, they look like shit. That's all I gotta say. WWE's belts look like shit, except for maybe the NXT belts. NXT belts look okay. I'm okay with it. That's it. Anyway, we move on. All right, then we go to the AOP being interviewed by Charlie Caruso. They have Buddy Murphy, the disciples of the Monday Night Messiah. They're there to get interviewed about the 6-man tag team match with them and Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders. And Samoa Joe is suspended for violating the wellness policy. So him and Andrade are out. That's why Joe wasn't on TV last Monday night. This past Monday night. So they kind of written him off saying he's injured. They injured his head or something like that. He's got a concussion. They played it off like that. So they said they're on the right side of history and they've already won. And Seth Rollins comes out, says it's a huge night for them, and tells them to prepare. He says he plans to win his match with Ricochet and Bobby Lashley, move on to face Brock at Saudi Mania. That's what they're calling it now? Saudi Mania? Okay. If you want, well, I guess, well, if other people are calling it Saudi Mania, I'm calling it Super Showdown 3. Basically, it is the pre-WrestleMania. They used to do it after WrestleMania, but they're not doing it this year for reasons I don't know, and I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. So we get that. He says redemption is a beautiful thing. He's beaten Brock twice and took his title twice, so that means Drew needs to start preparing for him at WrestleMania, which may or may not happen. We'll see. So it was a pretty decent promo. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we get to the elimination match. Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders taking on Buddy Murphy and AOP. It was a pretty good match. Seth Rollins at ringside. So we start off with Eric and Buddy Murphy. Eric grounds and things, attacks in Kevin Owens. Falls with a senton. And they start beating up on Buddy for a while. As we go to break, we come back. Buddy tags in Razor. And he brawls with Ivar. Ivar cuts him off. Eric tags in. They double team Razor. Razor cuts him off. Tags in Akam. Double team on Eric. They beat up Eric for a while. Eric fights off Buddy. Knee strike. Tags in Ivar, who goes running amok. Takes out Razor. Eric then comes in. They hit the Doomsday German near fall. And everybody's in the ring. Ivar hits a dive to the outside. Eric hits one. And then Ivar misses a crossbody. Eats the apron. Ow. And then Seth hits the blackout, the curb stomp on the floor. Excuse me. Then we get back in. Buddy pins Eric, so Eric is eliminated. Then the referees check on Ivar, who looked like he popped his shoulder out of place. Ugh, that's not good. And so referees take him out of the match. So it's basically 3-on-1 now between the AOP and Buddy Murphy against Kevin Owens. Poor Kevin Owens, going through this entire storyline, this feud with Seth Rollins and his disciples. You know, you put in Samoa Joe, put in the Viking Raiders, but they're basically getting their asses handed to them every single week. Except for that, maybe that 1 week was where Viking Raiders and Kevin Owens beat them up at the end. That was it. 1 week. The rest of the time they've been getting their asses handed to them. Now Samoa Joe's suspended for 30 days. He's not coming back until a couple weeks before WrestleMania. Uh, I don't know where the storyline's gonna go. I don't know what's gonna happen by the time WrestleMania comes. But they might just end it at Super Showdown. Maybe a one-on-one match, Seth and Kevin, or they just have another 6-man tag team match at the Saudi Arabia show, which I don't personally think that they should have one. We'll see what happens with that. So Kevin's all alone, but he puts up a good fight. So let's beat up on Razor for a little bit. Razor is just beating him up, tags and Akam. They double team him for a near fall. Kevin cuts Buddy off as with a desperation DDT. Razor comes in and attacks with strikes. Kevin battles back with a cannonball. Runs Razor into the steel steps. Gets up top and goes for a swanton, but Razor gets his knees up. He fights back in the powerbomb and eliminates Buddy Murphy. It's now 3-on-2, 2-on-1 I should say. Akam attacks Lou with some knee strikes, and then the stunner connects, and Kevin eliminates him. So it's down to a one-on-one match with Kevin Owens and Razor. Razor comes in, gets sent into the ring post. Then Kevin hits a super kick, and then a cannonball. Also with that, here's up top. It's the senton splashed 3 all over, but he gets only 2 out of that. Then Seth Rollins gets on the apron and distracts Kevin, which allows Razor to follow with his lariat, and then a spine buster. And then he hits another one on Kevin and then pins Kevin to get the win for his team to eliminate Kevin Owens. So Buddy Murphy and the AOP, the disciples of the Messiah, as you can call them, get the win. Match I gave 3 out of 5 stars. It went 22 minutes. I think it went maybe 5-10 minutes overtime, but it is what it is. But I'm liking how Kevin Owens is, he's overcoming adversity. The fans are getting behind him. They want him to beat Seth Rollins up to a pope and everything. But we'll see what happens with that. And afterwards, Owens gets a huge ovation from the crowd. But I don't know what's going to happen with this storyline. I don't know what's going to happen with Kevin Owens as we continue on to the next month or so up to WrestleMania. Up to KO Mania. I don't know what number it's up to. He has a very sad KO Mania. He doesn't have the shirt. I think it's up to 4 or 5 now. I don't know. But we get that. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Alright, then we get an interview with Charlie Caruso and Ricochet. And Ricochet says that his chance, all he ever wanted, the chance that he's getting right at the end of the night is all he ever wanted, as he wants to prove how good he is. His chances may be slim, but this chance is everything to him. So, nice little spirited promo from Ricochet. And we'll see if he wins the match or not. So I give that 2 out of 5 stars. Nothing to write home about. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alright, then we get to Aleister Black taking on Eric Young. Thanks for coming, Eric. A 1-minute match. Young attacked Aleister Black with the bell. Didn't really do much there. Black comes back and then hits the V-trigger knee strike. Then picks up Eric with his foot. Then right into Black Mass, finishes it off. And that's basically it. So he gets the win. Match I gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. Typical squash match. Where the Aleister Black's going undefeated right now on Raw. Then afterwards, he cuts a promo, talks about being all you wanted to be when you grow up in the army. No, but that doesn't always work out that way. He believes that people should be who they choose to be because that drives competition, and he will knock down the Raw locker room and cast them in shadows. And it was done by a person who was told he could be what he wanted to be. Kind of like an In This Moment type promo. The hell is this? Kind of channeling. In this moment, there's some lyrics in their song "Dirty Pretty" who says, "I don't want you to be what you wanted me to be." So I think that's how it goes. So he kind of maybe channeled a little bit of the lyrics from Brink. You know, it's nice to get some love in this moment there. But it is what it is. But it was kind of like spooky, like I'm gonna be the person you don't want me to be, which I don't know what that means. So we'll see what happens with that, and see what happens with Aleister Black as we move on in time. But like I said, 1.5 stars for the squash match with Eric Young, and probably see him against No Way Jose next week, or just a bunch against the jobbers that don't get any TV time. Like No Way Jose, like Eric Young, and the like that that are on main event shit. Nobody cares. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, then we see highlights of the Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo feud. Then we see Andrade getting DDT'd on the exposed floor last week. They said that Andrade is gonna be out indefinitely with the injury, though they don't mention his suspension, which is now I think he's got 3 weeks left on his suspension, I believe. 3 or 4 weeks left. So yeah, they mentioned that, and get more about this little feud with Andrade and Humberto Carrillo. And now you add in Angel Garza, which I'll get to in a minute, and Rey Mysterio, and it's all this big Latin feud. It's pretty good. That's what it is. All right, then we found out that tomorrow night on SmackDown we're gonna have Goldberg. Yes, Old Man Goldberg, or as I call him, Oldberg. I don't care about that. So Goldberg's gonna be on SmackDown tomorrow night. So I guess Goldberg's gonna be out there because it's WrestleMania season. Maybe he's gonna make a challenge to somebody at WrestleMania. Maybe I don't know. It won't be the Undertaker, because we don't want to see that again. That horrible match that was at the last Saudi Arabia show. That was horrible. So maybe he'll make a challenge to somebody at the at Super Showdown 3. Now, if I was a betting man, and I'm usually am a betting man, but if they're gonna do this big match, if Goldberg's gonna have this a match, why not have it against Sting? Oh, Peter, why do you say that? Oh, Sting said he wants a match. Then those damn Arabs are throwing blood money at Sting. They want Sting there. They want Sting versus The Undertaker, which it should not happen. It should happen at WrestleMania, if it does happen. It's like 5 years too late. Why not Goldberg versus Sting? Sting has been, I think, cleared to wrestle, or he's... Why not Goldberg versus Sting? You can relive that little... Well, they didn't have a feud, but I don't believe they had a feud in WCW back in the late 90s with the NWO, since Sting was fighting the NWO by himself, and then Goldberg comes in and just wipes them all out. And then Goldberg won the belt around WCW in 99, and then in WCW 2000, when it was basically about to die, he was facing off against the NWO 2000. Him and Sting were there, DDP. Yeah, DDP was there. I think Bret Hart might have been there. Booker T was there. Scott Steiner. Rick Steiner. Back in the days when WCW was dead. Back in the very late 90s, like 99, 2000, and into 2001, when it completely got taken over by WWE. That fateful night. When Shane McMahon came out on the last Nitro in Florida and said, "There is a McMahon on the contract, but it is not yours, Vince. It's mine." And Vince is like, he's rubbing his freaking ear like, And then that started the invasion, which should have never ended. And then you bring in ECW, and then ECW had the two one night onlys, which were very good. And then they just killed the ECW name. Made it WWECW, which looked like shit. Watered down version of ECW. Nothing really hardcore. And that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, so that's all I gotta say. So we'll see what happens with Goldberg. Um, this Friday, tomorrow night on SmackDown, and that's all I gotta say about that. All right, then we get to Selena Vega coming out with Humberto Carrillo's cousin, former Cruiserweight Champion Angel Garza. So Humberto's all shocked, and he says he's the leader of the family, and Humberto answers to him. He calls him a disgrace for what he did last week to Andrade. And Carrillo just snatches the mic out of Angel Garza's hand, and then Selena Vega slaps him in the face. And Garza attacks, pummels him with some ground and pound, and then he chokes him out and hits the wing clipper, that finishing move he does, dumps him to the floor, throws him into the ring steps, peels up the mats. We're gonna do what Andrade did to Humberto, and then Humberto did to Andrade, put him on the exposed concrete. But Rey Mysterio comes out, makes a save, and we get a match with Angel Garza and Mysterio. So I gave the segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. We get to the match. Match was okay. Selena Vega stays at ringside. And Garza got his offense in start. Then he begged off and he wanted a handshake. Rey's like, fuck you. And then he rips off his pants. And throws it at Rey. He starts attacking Rey. Trying to rip off the mask. Now, there's going to be a mask versus hair match somewhere down the line, probably at WrestleMania, with probably Rey and Andrade. So we're going to get a bald Andrade, most likely. Which sucks. And he'll probably be put onto his mask like he was in Mexico. You know, being Los Ingobernables in Mexico. Anyway, Rey comes back with a head scissors, goes for a 619, gets countered. Goes up, pulls Rey to the floor. Rey comes back with a backbreaker. Garza cuts him off, whips him into the turnbuckle. He follows him with some knee strikes and then a moonsault, but he misses it. Rey clears him off for a near fall. And then he hits a tornado DDT for a near fall. Then hits a seated senton, so he's in full control. Garza comes back with a knee strike of his own for a near fall. He goes for the wing clipper. Rey fights it off. Hits the Canadian Destroyer. And then Selena Vega pulls Garza to the floor. Rey falls out with a dive. He starts arguing with Selena Vega. And Garza catches him with a super kick. Then he exposes the mats on the floor. And then he DDTs Rey on the floor. So Rey's going to be out in a while. So that causes a disqualification. So Rey Mysterio wins. Match was okay. I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that was pretty much it. So, we might get a fatal 4-way down the line for the United States title when Andrade comes back from his suspension, which is after the Saudi Arabia show, unless he's on the Saudi Arabia show, which I doubt. So, probably by WrestleMania, might get a 4-way dance for the United States title. Rey, Garza, Carrillo, and Andrade. Rey, or it could be a tag team match. Andrade and Angel Garza taking on Rey and Humberto Carrillo. And the winner maybe gets the United States title, or maybe they could do that. See what happens. And that's it. Alright, then we go to a segment with Charlotte Flair. Says everyone wants to know who she will face at WrestleMania. She's held the Raw and SmackDown titles multiple times. That's why she's a 10-time champ. She beat Becky and then beat Bayley. Then the crowd starts chanting for Rhea Ripley, the NXT champion. Charlotte says she loves NXT. And NXT has love for their queen, NXT Women's Champion. She's held all the gold 10 times, but she wants all the gold. And then we hear the music of Rhea Ripley coming out with Ash Costello's screaming from that song. That's one of the a great song. Ash Costello's a goddess next to Maria Brink, of course, of New Year's Day. So she comes out and she tells Charlotte she won the Rumble and can challenge for any title she wants. Charlotte's beaten Becky, beat Bayley, but you never beaten me. But I beat you. And she's like, well, if you want to step up and challenge me at Mania, takes off the belt, holds it up, he's saying, come on. Charlotte stares her down and leaves, and that's pretty much it. And we find out later on that Charlotte's gonna go to NXT and give Rhea Ripley her answer. I'll get to that probably tomorrow on the Peter Gilmore YouTube channel, and that's basically it. So it was a pretty good segment. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's about it for that. All right, then we get to Charlie Caruso once again with Bobby Lashley, asking him about the number 1 contenders match. He was asking him about being distracted with Lana's stuff with Liv Morgan. He says he's focused on business. He's not focused on that crap. He says he will win, and he's the one man who could beat Brock Lesnar and will go on to Mania and beat Drew McIntyre. That remains to be seen. They're really doing nothing with Bobby Lashley. They just threw him in this stupid storyline. They really could have made him the winner of the Royal Rumble, have him face Brock, have him win the WWE title, and go on a nice reign with it. And then he goes back to feuding with Rusev. Rusev maybe wins the WWE title, holds it for like a month. And then you give it to whatever schmuck wants it next. That's what I would have done, but WWE's stupid at it. That's why I think Bobby Lashley after WrestleMania is going to be going bye-bye. I think he's going back to TNA, or he's going to go back to doing Bellator and MMA fights. I mean, what's really left for Bobby Lashley to do in WWE right now? Just be a sucker in this stupid storyline? It is what it is. And that's it. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get to Asuka and Natalya. Nobody is ready for Asuka, said my dick. But that is what it is. This match was pretty good. We had Kairi Sane at ringside. They went at it. They beat the crap out of each other. Asuka was in control at one point. Natalya comes back, started getting control. Then Asuka comes back with some ground and pound, transitions to an armbar. Natalya escaped and delivers some strikes until Asuka goes back on the arm. And then she locks in a guillotine. Natalya powered out of it and hits she hits a suplex. She follows with some strikes, but Asuka clears her off for a near fall. Then Natalya hits a discus clothesline, then locks in the sharpshooter, but Asuka got the ropes. Natalya had to break it after like a 10 count. I don't know why the referee couldn't just disqualify her. So Asuka goes to the floor, Natalya rolls her back in. Kairi distracts her, and Asuka puts her in the Asuka lock, and I had to tap out, and that was it. So, Asuka gets the win. A pretty good match. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And Asuka's getting a lot of praise right now. And she's getting some good matches out of it. She had a pretty good match with Becky at the Rumble. And speaking of Becky, afterwards, Asuka gets on the mic, talks in Japanese, says, "Becky, I want rematch!" So Becky comes out, has these stupid-looking glasses on. I mean, have you ever seen those things, those videos? I don't know what you can call them. And then you have Snoop Dogg's Nothing But a G thing coming out at the end, and then the glasses come out. She's wearing those glasses, looking like a retard. So basically, Becky says she's game, but then asks why would I do it again before WrestleMania? And the only thing better than beating Asuka's ass once is doing it again. So yeah. So we find out next week that Becky will face Asuka for the Raw Women's title in a rematch from the Royal Rumble. I think Becky will win again because I think she's going to go on past the Saudi Arabia show, which, women are not allowed at, even though they had that one match, like Lacey and Natalya. I don't know if they're going to have another women's match at the show. Probably, maybe or maybe not. She's going to go all the way to WrestleMania, and Shayna Baszler is going to come in after winning the Elimination Chamber. Baszler's going to beat the fuck out of the man, and Shayna's going to be the woman. And Becky's probably gonna go back into obscurity. That's it. So we'll see what happens with that. So I didn't give that a rating. I just said Becky. Now Becky's gonna face Asuka next week. We'll see what happens. And that's it. All right, there we see Seth Rollins facing Buddy Murphy and the AOP on their win earlier in the night. Now this is his time to once again dethrone Brock Lesnar for the third time. He made that promise last year and got a different and more positive response. How things quickly change. And he did what he said he would, was a fighting champion, and instead of a hero's welcome, the fans crucified him. He doesn't hate the fans, but he thanks them. They made him into the Monday Night Messiah, and he will be Brock for the greater good. He will go down in history as the man that saved this industry. Hey, but that means to be seen. I don't know. I really don't want to see Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar for like the 15th time, and Seth Rollins beating Brock Lesnar for the third time. I don't want to see that. Let Brock beat Seth and just destroy him. But we'll see what happens as we get to the triple threat match. And match was okay. It wasn't bad. They brought the break. Lashley gets dumped to the outside. Ricochet then takes out Seth and then gets tripped up by Lashley. Seth hits Sling Blade, dumps Lashley to the floor again, covers Ricochet for a near fall. They basically beating up Ricochet when Ricochet comes back. And he gets the tope on Lashley, a Fosway flop on the Seth, comes back in, gets up top, Buddy attacks him. Buddy and the OP arrive, and Buddy attacks him. No disqualification. He beat down Lashley. Buddy works over Ricochet, and Kevin Owens comes out to take out Buddy Murphy. Eric from the Viking Raiders comes out. They take out the AOP with some chair shots. And basically get them out of the way as we go to break. Come back, Seth and Ricochet are in, trading strikes until Lashley joins them. He goes nuts on them. And then Ricochet wipes him out, takes over on Seth, and takes out Lashley. Hits an Enziguri, then a springboard form, and then a running shooting star press, fouls until Lashley makes the save. He fires up with some kicks, and then breaks down as Lashley controls and covers for a near fall. Seth counters back, hits a blockbuster, and then Ricochet makes the save on the pinfall cover. Seth cuts him off with a buckle bomb. And then Ricochet comes back with an Enziguri. They go up top. Lashley joins in, and they hit a Tower of Doom spot. And then Ricochet gets up as Seth Rollins is down. I think it was on the floor. Bobby Lashley's in the middle of the ring. Ricochet goes up top, hits the 630. 1, 2, 3. Ricochet is going to Super Showdown to face Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. So he's basically going to be fed to Brock. And that's it. And then afterwards, Brock comes out and lays out Ricochet with the F5. Thanks for coming, Ricochet. Having a nice day. That's it. Oh, yeah. Ricochet gets the win, and he will face Brock. He'll get destroyed in, like, maybe not even 5 minutes. I bet it's going to be like a 3-minute suckfest. It's not going to last 5-6 minutes. I guarantee that. Ricochet's going to go in, do his little flippy flips, try to break down Brock, but Brock's going to beat him with the F5, probably hit multiple F5s, and just really take Ricochet out. Keep the WWE title, go on to WrestleMania to face Drew. And that's basically it for that. And then Drew's going to win the Universal title, the WWE title, and then I don't know who's going to win the Universal title, that guy named Roman. But it is what it is. So WrestleMania is starting to come together in a way a little bit, starting to being molded into everything. The Super Showdown is starting to being molded. We already got our first match, Super Showdown, WWE title match, which is going to be a suckfest. I think Super Showdown is going to be a waste of time. I really don't care for it right now. Depending what other matches will be. I mean, Ober's going to have a match. If it's not with Sting, I don't know who he's going to face. I really don't care. And, yeah, that's basically all I gotta say about that. I don't know what else to say. I give up. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night on SmackDown with Ober. What he's gonna say? Probably challenge somebody and do a match at Super Showdown 3. Probably be some jabroni. You know, maybe I doubt it'll be Braun Strowman. Because he's the Intercontinental Champion. Why would Goldberg want a shot at the Intercontinental title? It'll make no sense. I don't know who else could fight Goldberg. Ain't gonna be Dolph Ziggler again. Remember what happened to Dolph at SummerSlam? yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So we'll see what happens with that. More to come on SmackDown as they start going into what they're gonna do for Super Showdown and maybe for WrestleMania. Um, already got basically 2 matches announced for WrestleMania. We got Drew McIntyre possibly against Brock Lesnar or Ricochet or against somebody else. And then we have, I'll spoil it for now, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte for the NXT Women's title. Should be a pretty decent match. I think Rhea Ripley's gonna beat Charlotte because Charlotte winning the belt, NXT belt, makes no sense. That she's going back to NXT, which makes no sense either. I mean, Finn Balor went back just to have a feud with Johnny Gargano and Matt Riddle, and that was it. He's not gonna give him the NXT World Title or anything. So I highly doubt Charlotte's gonna beat Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania and become an 11-time champion. But we'll see. You never know. And that's all I gotta say about that. So thank you all for watching. Leave me your thoughts and opinions. What you think about Raw, and leave it in a comment or you do a video reply if you wish. You talk about Raw. You have any wrestling questions about Raw, about SmackDown, about NXT, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, or anything else in the world of professional wrestling, put it down below in the comment section of this video or hit me up via Twitter with your questions, and hopefully we'll get to a Q&A sooner or later. And that's pretty much it. So send your questions down below and get to a Q&A, and that's it. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Peter Gilmore signing off. Maybe have another video or two down later on tonight. Or I'll probably have NXT review. And we'll see what happens with the rest of your Friday as we get to the weekend, the first weekend of February. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So thanks for watching. Peter Gilmore signing off. Peace! Bitches!